Can I borrow a tea bag?
Only if you bring it back. You can have a tea bag, Brian. You can't borrow one.
What are you playing?
Tomb Raider 3.
She's drowning.
Yeah.
Is that the point of the game?
Depends what mood you're in, really.
Most annoying intro.
Most annoying intro of the podcast, I think, thus far.
You know what? This is number 30. We're old. Let's kill ourselves.
Oh, God, it's as old as I am.
The podcast is officially uncool. Sorry, Michael.
So actually, there's a podcast for each year of your life.
Oh, how thrilling.
Oh, that's stupid.
The top 7 this week.
No. Okay, I'm Christopher Antista. I write things on internets.
I'm Brett Elston. I write more things on internet.
Not this week.
I'm Michael Rapaz. I write the internets.
We call him Nickel Rippy. And I wanted to introduce this man, the late great Shane Vendrell.
The late great Shane Vendrell, features editor. I write what I feel like.
You write what you feel.
What I feel. This is coarse, and this is soft. Moving on.
Moving on. Okay, later in the podcast, yes, we are going to announce the winners of the wrestling contest, and we also
Okay.
Shane.
All right, we'll do it.
These are chosen by Shane. Please, nobody, talk to me, yell at me about who wins. It's all Shane.
It's all me, bitches.
All right, Red Fox. Slow down.
29 copies to give away. And second segment, special guest.
Special guest. Hopefully, school is going to be settled. Secret guest in the second break. We should probably just get right into it because we keep trying to make shorter podcasts for the peoples. What was the top 7 this week? Wait, I have to play this because it was requested and it is our 30th podcast. I think it deserves lame music. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes podcast number 30. No?
Christ.
I
I guess in this case it's appropriate because it's such a meh concept. It's the top 7 games you won't get to until 2009.
Again,
But there are
we all had
several
our doubts about it and it did very well.
Yes.
No, well, I'm not saying at this point that the premise is meh. I'm saying it's a meh premise. The heart and soul of it is.
I don't know what that means.
I'm not. I'll get around to playing this later.
Yeah, I had this idea, and then I told it to Michael, and he was going to write it, and he told me that's a flimsy concept. And I was like, I agree, but it's somewhere in my mind I see this doing well, even though it's the kind of article I would see somewhere else and be pissed about.
And which is exactly what happened. They did comments which not only didn't read the article, but didn't read the headline.
Yeah.
And were ready to complain.
Or just like saw games in 2009, apparently.
Look, Little Big Planet's already out. What?
Yeah.
Why isn't Diablo 3 on here?
You didn't say Resident Evil 5, asshole. Doug Dale.
Yeah.
Buried for no Gran Turismo 5.
Yeah, people kept getting confused. 2 directions. One, people thought it was about games you can't play until 2009, like Resident Evil 5. Or they thought the opposite. I can't remember.
Well, go ahead and correct them real quick.
Well said,
Once I give you your cue, I want you to correct the people out there on the internet who had the entire notion wrong.
Hey!
You look like a real jerk.
Hey!
You look like a real jerk. So, Michael.
So
the idea actually is games that, because this holiday season is so
there's so much stuff, and it's things are going to fall by the wayside. I've got a big stack of games sitting at home that is just I will probably not play these until like sometime next year when I somehow dig them out from under the massive pile, the massive stalagmite of debris that is my game room.
And let me preface Michael's statements with that these aren't games that he sent for free because of his job. This boy buys practically every game he's remotely interested in.
Yes. It's a disease.
Now you just made me sound like I'm some kind of rich fuck who can spend money on...
It's just that's all you spend your disposable income on. What was the last DVD you bought?
Good question.
Yeah. Other than UA Ball, which I hope you expensed.
Oh, God, I wouldn't buy that.
Except for that top 7 I had.
Yeah. Where was that?
What's the first game we're probably not going to get to this go round in the 008?
Oh, number 7.
So, Little Big Planet.
Little Big Planet, and I was so excited about that game, and I still am.
Mm-hmm.
Less so knowing that I don't have it yet.
I think that's part of the problem, that the potential user base, the people who are excited about it, a lot of them don't have PS3s, and a lot of the people who have PS3s aren't excited about it.
Whoopsie
So that's sort of an error in placement there, I guess.
That is a total...
But yeah, every time, I worked I'd spent most of last month, I think, on friggin' Little Big Planet.
Yeah.
October, actually. October.
I really want to get to it, but it's kind of like I know it's gonna. Right now, I'm trying to play everything, and I'm doing it between like midnight and 3 a.m. Little Big Planet just can't seem to fall. I can't stay awake in my underwear, in my apartment alone, playing Little Big Planet, designing.
That sounds really perverted.
Yeah.
No, but that's seriously what it's like.
It is what it feels like. It would feel pathetic right now to like really dig into Little Big Planet. I wouldn't be able to do it like I really wanted to, where I felt good about it, until I wait a little while.
There goes Dan Amrick. He's leaving.
Dan
Amrick.
Little Big Planet just seems like it's an. Oh, is he coming over?
Yeah.
He is.
Oh shit.
Dan Amrick, ladies and gentlemen.
I heard something or somebody scream, and I was on my way out of the building, and I'm like, yelling, and yes, I smelled beer. Oh, it must be TalkRadar.
It's TDar. How's the contest going, Dan?
We have one entry, so whatever you're thinking of out there, if you, it's better. You can do better.
Yes, you, Mr. Enter, you have a 50% chance of winning.
You do right now. It's a really fine prize. I was very pleased with it. It's charged up. I put all of our Palette Swap Ninja songs on it, and as well as a few other surprises. So
really?
Yes, nothing major, but just something.
We were going to put all the podcasts on there.
Yeah. Yes. Well, we can still do that. Yeah, you can.
Do that.
It can. If you have the files, we can give you a complete collection of TalkRadar.
Isn't that weird? I don't have our own podcast on my computer.
Great.
I have to delete them to make room to make podcasts.
Can't you make Henry download them all and stick them in a folder and put them on the network or something?
What we don't have is interns, and we need one because I licked.
Maybe we shouldn't be giving away an MP3 player. Maybe we should be giving away an internship. Hey.
Oh, that's empty. But then you end up with like a Jesse Camp.
Oh yeah. You don't want that.
Hey guys, that's the thing. We give away the internship, and then it's like, and you have to move here and find a place to live yourself.
That sucks. Can't I just do it from home?
And you have to be sexed in. It's like a gang.
Oh. Okay. And on that note, all right,
that was
back
a
to your regularly scheduled
And
podcast.
with that, Dan's going to take off.
I'm sorry. Bye.
Hi, Dan. Much love. Dan Amrick, artist behind We Christmas Time, 3 Red Lights, and Viva Pinata.
Yes, make a video. I know people in the forums were talking about making them. You should start making them.
You should start making them. You got a good chance at winning.
But I was talking about Little Big Planet as one of the top 7 games you won't get to until 2009. I also think I'd said before it's a Nintendo game on a Sony platform with an audience built around FPSs and sports games.
I think that's basically what Reggie Fils-Aimé said when he first saw it when it was unveiled. He's like, I think it's on the wrong platform.
Yeah, it kind of. And also, I am interested in it, but I definitely won't play it until next year because the platforming wasn't compelling enough for me to put something else down, and I have no interest in the user creation stuff. I don't want to build.
I don't want to make anything.
I don't want to build a game. I want to play a game.
I would love to be able to play the top-rated game level of the week. That's fucking amazing. I love a quick game I can pop in like that.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that even if you don't have an interest in committing to creating a whole level, you can just dick around in the level creation thing. You can, create obscene shapes or just make a ramp and attach a shit ton of rockets to something, and that's a lot of fun.
I was gonna say last week our question to the community was, "What was your biggest loss?" And mine should have been
Achievement.
This amazing Excite Bike level I made. Shane, there were so many ramps. and what was the deal with that? It never saved.
It never had a battery in it, so it actually never saved or loaded, despite having both those options in the menu.
Yeah.
Now you have a hard drive, Chris.
Now you have emulators with save states.
Yeah, and another point that I made in here is like, if I were behind the Little Big Planet campaign, it'd probably be like, "Hey, you look like a real dickhead! Attach a bunch of rockets to shit!" Hey! Yeah, and
I don't want to buy your product. You're mean.
The point is, it's like there's nothing in the ad campaign to underline how cool some of this stuff is.
Oh yeah,
it's just side views of some fairly impressive looking platformer levels, with some guy saying, "If fun didn't matter, Halloween costumes wouldn't come in adult sizes." It's like, wow, that is fucking fantastic. Thank you so much.
Fantastically creepy the way you said that. They seem to be marketing it on adorability alone. Like I wouldn't even know what's going on. Little Big Planet is happening from the commercials. It's just
it's
really just like people waving and hey.
Yeah, but the people who paid $400 to $600 for a game console and who are being asked to pay $60 more for a game aren't going to buy it on cuteness alone.
That's right, because this is a pretty bizarre concept that, I don't know, I thought totally justified the system to me. Like, alright, I will get a PS3 once they announce Little Big Planet, what it was supposed to do. Which is why I'm depressed, not so much about the next game on the list, which is...
Eternal Poison, an Atlas game.
Bringing that up today, but it seems like it's got that Odin Sphere...
it's not nearly as pretty as like Grim Grimoire Odin Sphere, but it is quality. Like, it's okay.
Yeah. Well, I brought this one up, and it's a little bit shaky, although nobody's really pointed that out yet, thank God. But it's probably the shakiest item on the list because all the others are like AAA, really really high profile things that are not doing so well anyway, and that a lot of people might want, but they want other things more right now. But this I included because by rights, like the PS2 scene right now is like it's just a trickle. Like, I think, the Bond game came out. There's a mediocre Call of Duty World at War version for the PS2.
Bizarre third person. It's not first person like every other game.
Is it?
Really? Yeah.
For Call of Duty?
Talking about Quantum of Solace or Call of Duty?
What did I say? I said Call of Solace. That's what I fucking heard.
Oh, yeah. It's that one.
Quantum of Duty.
Quantum of Duty. I just had one of those.
Yeah, so wonderful. Anyway, but the thing is with this, it's an original PS2 game that's coming out. It should, by all rights, dominate the PS2 RPG scene, which is pretty anemic at this point. However, it chose to come out 2 weeks before Persona 4 is coming out, and or actually 2 weeks before Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Persona 4, I think, is coming out in a week or two. But yeah, it's like, why would you drop it now?
It's hard. It's hard for me to justify because not only did I get into the next gen consoles a little later than most people, so it's still exciting to me as if it were only a year old. I have to justify the money I spent on all these new consoles, and that doesn't involve me buying a budget PS2 game.
Yeah. It wasn't budget when it was released.
It's $30.
It's $30. Well, I thought it was like $20 now. Actually,
Eternal Poison. You're probably right. We're gonna talk about some deals at the end, third segment. Help the consumer out.
Whatever. I'm bored by this conversation.
I am too. Hold on. Let me give myself this. Well, anyway. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Ledger. Will move us into number 5. Who's the expert here? I'm looking at you, Loston.
Valkyria Chronicles. I just started playing this a couple days ago, and it really is the kind of game that does not come through in screens. Watch this game in motion. It's fucking gorgeous. And I mean that I don't want to say too much about the looks because that's something I'll be talking about next week. It is a strange thing for Sega to put out such a good game solely on PS3, the most crowded time of the year, on a niche market, the strategy, action, SRPG, PS3 exclusive. It's like you're literally dooming this thing to failure. Who's going to pick this? If you only own a PS3, who's going to pick this over? Granted, there's not another option you have in this genre because this is the only game in that genre. But nobody's going, dude, Valkyria Chronicles came out today when you've got stuff like Call of Duty. Even Little Big Planet's probably going to sell more than this game.
I mentioned this. I hope it made its money in Japan already, and it's just going to let's see how this is in the U.S. market. Let's get crazy.
I can't believe they didn't just save as 360. What? There's no reason. It looks great. It doesn't look so good that 360 couldn't pull it off.
It looks like Jim Lee drew World War II with a box of Crayolas.
It's also a proprietary engine that Sega made.
I meant to make that sound pretty. I realized I didn't convey that. I'm really bad at it.
No, if you don't know, Jim Lee, fantastic artist, and crayons are nice.
Thanks, Brad.
I'm caught up. Well, that was a good reference, Chris. That was a good.
No, very pretty game. I really recommend it. I haven't played enough to like. I'd like to point out some kind of bad thing about the gameplay. I haven't got far enough to really anything to grade on me yet. But so far, I'm loving it.
You hear that, folks? Put it on the box. Brett
And I
Elfson.
specifically started playing it now just so it would not slip to next year. I'm purposely putting my 360 aside for a while to do this.
Not only that, Brett Elston is playing this in a season of Animal Crossing.
Fuck that. Seriously. I don't know if I can F that game.
Really?
I'm tired of it. They literally just made the DS game again, and screw it.
We have a reviewer coming on next week that disagrees with you.
Good. I'll punch that asshole in the face.
I don't recommend
Maybe
that.
I'll punch that face in the asshole.
Lovely mental image.
The reason I'm done with that game is because both my friends who were going to play it with me also said no. And the fact that when I turned it on, because they did the same thing, they turned it on, they're like, wait, Tom Nook again? Like, exact same game. But my nail in the coffin was Thanksgiving Day, before we drive down to go have dinner with the parents.
Yum.
Turned it on, I'm like, dude, it's Thanksgiving. I gotta go see the mayor. I gotta get my, I gotta get my big trophy I get to put in my decrepit old house I haven't paid off.
I actually had that queued up.
Oh, that was me.
There you go.
I sent you that wave. That's authentic. I go
That's
to
my
Tom Nook.
voicemail.
I go to talk to the mayor, and I'm like, okay, I'll just stop in. I'll get my turkey shit, whatever. There's a big spread at the town hall. I'm like, cool. Talk to the mayor. Hey, wow, this is a big feast. Too bad the guests don't be here till 3 o'clock. Off. Like, it's going to make me come back at 3 p.m. literally to get the prize.
Don't dictate when I play.
Yeah, it's like, because before, if I'm not mistaken, you just showed up anytime on that day.
Yeah, it was kind of like you just be rewarded for with something every different time.
He said,
around.
oh man, the bustle today at 3 o'clock. Off. Never again. I'll never
cut
play
this
again.
out, but what was the racial slur people are talking about that's in Animal Crossing?
The N-word.
It's not
It's a user-created thing, right?
All three of the Animal Crossings, at some point the characters will come up and be like, hey man, I'm getting tired of saying this after every sentence. Give me a new phrase to say. You can I put in people's last names. I think that's funny. This guy put in nigga.
Oh, that was it.
That's it.
But that was what...
Oh, he probably had a ROM or something like that.
No, it's a used game. Those characters will stay that way, and characters will leave and go to other people's towns, and they'll keep the settings you gave them.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Cool.
the big stink was that Nintendo had sent out copies that they had played to journalists with unlocked like bells and everything, like a shit ton of money, and then someone comes up to them and is like, "Hey, what's going on, nigga?" And they're like, this has a bad word in your game."
That's what I
Like,
love, because I guess the filter didn't catch it because it had a tilde over the end.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was.
Because I was like, they have recognition. Like, I can put ass hat. It wouldn't let me. Which means I tried.
Which means he tried.
it's just
Well,
not
how did we get here? Why?
So
am I
anyway,
in-
Valkyria Chronicles.
Yeah, it's good. I would also bleep something out of nigga. So
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna let.
like the ig.
I'm going on.
just Shane's Irish blood showing through.
Number 4 is Tom Clancy's End War.
Tom Clancy's End War, which is already discounted to half the price.
Yeah.
Which is only a shame because I was surprised that they were able to get decent voice commands to happen with the Xbox.
So it's a voice-controlled RTS.
Yes.
Yep.
How does that work? You say like A1 to C5 bonus.
It's sort of like that. Yeah, you
Yes.
like you hold. I played the demo on PS3, and you hold down the R2 button, and you say like, Unit 1 move to Tango, or Unit 1 attack Hostile 3.
What if I just recite Castlevania subtitles?
What if I can rickroll somebody?
What if
What
I
if
read
fuck
The Great
you?
Gatsby?
All right. Let's just get the hell out of this. Number 3, Resistance.
No,
Zero.
is anyone listening playing End War? This game is just like, what? I don't get it. Why it would come out now? I don't know.
Number 3 on the list. You guys take it.
That would be Resistance 2. And this is actually probably the most controversial item on this list, both in our comments and on Dig, because it seems like half the people are like, oh yeah, that's right on. I agree completely. I'm not really that interested in Resistance. And the other half is like, this is the best game of the year. Why would you put it on this list? Why are you saying it's bad? Okay, first off, we're not saying it's bad.
No, not at all.
All right.
People on the internet seem to think there's only two kinds of games, good and bad.
Mhm.
And those are your choices.
Just like movies and books.
Yeah,
There's good and bad.
I'm
And
really
people.
excited to play Resistance 2. Like, I played through a bunch of the first one. I just bought it on Greatest Hits to play through over our holiday break.
Yeah, I'm going to play it probably over the break. I've got a bunch of other stuff I want to get through first, which is part of the reason I threw it on here. I played it a little bit, but
Probably won't get it till 2009. What was I saying? That was in English.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. When the game came in, Michael gave me a copy, and I was like, cool, I want to play this. And then to the shelf it went. And aside from being busy with work, the moment I'm able to be free with something, I have to play something else before that.
It screams. It screams. It'll be just the way it is a couple months from now.
Yeah, like the interest level. Like I don't know. I would love to see how many people are playing Gears 2 Online versus Resistance 2 Online. Probably, maybe not that different, considering Halo 3.
I'm sure.
Halo 3 was the top game for live last week,
That was weird.
higher than Gears 2, which
I
is
kind
Was
of
it the
think
discounted legendary maps?
I don't know.
Could-
They've
And
been
that blo-
discounted on Xbox Live. So.
That blows my mind because Call of Duty 4 was routinely beating Halo 3 for the longest time.
Yeah, something must have happened. Not a
I want to know too what's doing better right now, Left 4 Dead or Gears of War 2?
I actually asked the GameStop guy when I was there because when I bought Left 4 Dead, I was curious, like, how's this selling? And he was like, it's pretty good. I don't know what that means. I also don't know how Steam is helping.
I think the audience is clear for that. It's Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know also when I looked it up, when I was looking up sales on like GameStop and stuff, Left 4 Dead I think was considerably higher on the list than Gears of War 2. Even if by considerably I only mean like one or two spaces, but
That's considerable for
That's a few
fucking
days ago.
GameStop altogether.
yeah.
The highest retailer.
But, again, Resistance 2 still looks like a fine game. I just am not able to get... What are you grinning about?
Because I'm going to jump to the next one on the list, Tomb Raider Underworld.
Okay. That's what you were grinning about.
Because
You're not gonna let him finish his thought?
Well, it's just because I was thinking about my to-do list of games, and I'm officially 2 Tomb Raiders behind. It is still sitting. Tomb Raider Legend is still sitting unopened on my 360, and which I have every intention of playing. Just not
Someday.
someday. Which that reminds me, our own Matty Keast was not happy with our Tomb Raider comments. He's gonna have to come on here and come
Really?
correct on. He's a Tomb Raider freak. He loves it.
He took issue with me saying nobody really gives a shit about Lara Croft anymore.
It wasn't so much you as that everybody reiterated the same thing over and over again, which was pretty
fuck,
much
I hate Tomb Raider.
Really, is that still happening? She's the new Gex. Is she?
She's worse than that. She's like the new Crash. I mean, Christ.
I wouldn't go quite that far, but it's like it's oversaturation. And the last 3 games have been pretty good, but does anybody care anymore?
I know, that's what's weird is, like, the series was dead, and, like, Angel of Darkness came out and effectively killed it.
Ooh.
And then they took, like, 2-3 years off and then did Legend, and everybody was like, wow, it's back. They found, they cleaned it up.
Yeah.
It's totally back.
Crystal Dynamics took over.
Yeah, and they were like, okay, back to its greatness. They did Anniversary. It was like, yeah, that was good. It's the first game remake, fine. And then there's literally only one more game after the game that saved it, which was Legend. And it's already kind of... I'm tired of it again. It's a franchise that doesn't need yearly or even semi-annual installments.
I don't think that's true. I think that kind of adventure game could sustain an annual release. But I think
But we have to care.
they had what, like 6 years of bad publicity in the games they released.
Yeah.
They've ruined any kind of the fandom they had.
Well, Tomb Raider 3 was shit. Chronicles was shit.
I think part of the problem is Lara Croft as a character and Tomb Raider as a franchise is kind of rooted in that the sort of early adolescence that the game industry went through when the PlayStation hit, where it's like the industry started growing its first pubes, basically, and was like, games can be for adults too! Let's make a game with a chick with huge breasts.
Which, I've always thought that born in 1980, or 81, or 79, whatever the case may be, 77.
78, thank you.
78, alright. That age group is literally the maturity level of the video games industry. That's how I've always felt it happened, because when I was 10, games were marketed to 10-year-olds at the large level.
Yeah.
When I was 15, games were marketed to 15-year-olds, the highest level, Mortal Kombat. That's when that kind of came over. By the time I was 20, games were super mainstream, college kids. And now that I'm 28, what do they say the average age of gamers is in the U.S.? 20 fucking 8.
28.
Mm-hmm. It's like which is why I think our generation identifies with them so hard, because we were there for a complete rebirth of this entire industry.
It's a giant shared cultural experience. It's bizarre because every time I go to a party, women hear what I do and tend to trip over themselves running away. Whereas I'll have a gaggle of men.
You must go to the worst places in the world.
I'll have a gaggle of men around me who want to talk about their game experiences and when they're seeing an update on this and that. It always happens. Like it's very weird because it doesn't.
I'm like from a Midwest nowhere, and most of the girls played games. Not like a lot, but they were like, "Oh, I love Punch Out."
Absolutely not where I'm from.
It's so bizarre. All right.
But okay, we're gonna get to the number one.
Here's Edge.
Jesus, can I play the sound effect? For every audience, forget everything you.
Oh, you can play it now. You can play it.
Players. Aw.
So yeah,
may I introduce him?
Go ahead.
I was hoping you'd play the sound effect.
Brett's going to introduce this.
I love that that's R2. Like when you said R2D2, I'm actually like, I wonder if people think that's literally an R2D2 wave and not me, because that sounds just like that asshole.
I have it. It's actually on my deck as Brett 2D2. That's how I find it.
All right, number one is Mirror's Edge. Another game I just decided I was going to play and not let slip through, but it is a very hard sell.
You played it pretty significantly though.
I beat it twice.
Finished it? Yeah, you finished it twice.
I got 630 achievements out of that game, I might add, in 2 days.
I was going to say more, considering that you played it twice. You would probably got about 1,500.
The first time was the preview build, so none of those achievements carried over.
I'm just saying.
Just saying, I had to get more points than there are. No, really cool game. It's got flaws. It's got, I cussed at that game a lot, but really unique take on FPS. I thought it was excellent. But again, a lot of people are like, I rented it. It was all right. I might play it later when it's $20.
I can't wait to play it, but little insight in the games industry, I can't afford it. So, if you wanted to get in this business, there's the reality. I have to borrow it from someone as soon as they bring it back.
Yeah. God damn it! I was going to make a point. Oh, one of the things Levy
at a point.
I have a point as follows. It's been billed as a very short game, not worth $60. And I don't know how good these people are. They're blowing through this game in 5 hours, as claimed. But I got 3 good days of playing it, and I was playing for like hours at a time.
I don't like the $60 price point, but it's $10 more expensive than every game you used to play, which somehow justified $50.
Yeah.
I use it as a crutch in my article all the time. This may not be worth $60, but it's just the new price point for games. Get used to it.
Considering people who lived through 1993 through 1997, when the average price point was $70, up to and including $90.
I've been gainfully employed for 10 years, back when the minimum wage was $4.25.
I remember.
So, and the game price has gone up $10, and the minimum wage has doubled.
Yeah.
Stop complaining.
I'm not complaining.
Not you, sweetie.
Okay, sorry. I just like MK2 was $70 for Super Nintendo. Chrono Trigger $70.
Killer Instinct Gold, when it came out for N64, $80.
I remember that. Why? How did they justify that?
Because that's the marked up price at like a Babbage's or something, and also N64 games were always $10 to $20 more.
Yeah, that's why. That's another reason I can't complain, because we already experienced that. If you wanted to play one of the best games ever, Mario 64, it was always $60 for 4 years.
Yeah.
It never dropped in price.
And the value price was $30. And they're like, Player's Choice, $30. Wow. All right, so Mirror's Edge.
Player's blessed. What I wanted to bring up, and I kept holding my tongue. Henry brought this up to me, and I know we mentioned Henry a lot. Everybody remembers Henry Gilbert from of TalkRadar 7 and 27 fame. He's like, you guys last week, as new releases, made fun of Club Penguin Elite Penguin Force. Where did you get the gall?
From our gallbladders?
It turns out, he's like, do you understand that on Amazon.com, the leading online retailer, this is me patting until the game loads, it is the #1 seller on the DS page. What do you think that the second best-selling thing on the DS, Amazon's DS best-selling page?
The DS itself.
Are you looking at this? Yes,
I am.
It is the metallic rose pink DS. But #3 is an upset.
Jesus.
Personal trainer cooking.
God damn
Barely
it!
edging out Mario Kart DS.
Which personal trainer? That is a Nintendo game.
Yeah,
That was published by Nintendo.
but in this like
That's what you got instead of a real game this year.
like I don't believe you, Henry. Let me look at this Amazon bestseller list. Somebody tell me what you think the #1 thing on the Amazon's best-selling in video games is.
It's not Wii Music, is it?
Carnival games.
Wait, for the Wii?
In all games, across all platforms. Brett, you're not supposed to look this up.
I'm
The Wii itself.
Wrong. Everybody, one for you, and one for Shane Vendrell. It's #1 on the best-selling across all video games is the Wii Nunchuck controller.
God.
Wow.
The Wii Nunchuck controller.
I've been waiting for well, I've not been waiting for 2 years. I've been waiting for 1 year for the Wii bubble to fiery burst.
Looks like it's not happening.
And it's not happening. Why?
I don't know. If they dropped the price $10, I could see how that could happen. But they didn't drop the price.
We went to GameStop today to buy Prince of Persia, and what is it now? 360 is cheaper than a Wii.
Yeah, it's $200.
That's incredibly dumb. I hate this planet.
Do you know your 360 comes with internal memory now that can play free movies
And
streaming
it comes
across
with
the internet?
technology.
And a hard drive.
It fucking
Technology.
colors.
Cheap games. #3.
Meanwhile, Nintendo's like, we don't know how to make the SD card work.
This is
with
from the guy
this
with
system."
3 Zelda tattoos. I'm telling you, mark that shit down and make a new system.
You
They
don't
don't
like
have
TV parties
to.
with
It sells
rabbits?
everything. 2.5. 2.5.
You don't want to play a game with your ass cheeks?
Well, yes, but I want to play that in the privacy of my own home.
Okay, you said, why hasn't this bubble burst yet? I will say again what I said at lunch today, which
No.
is that I
Family
think
suck.
Well, a lot of it is that you've got people coming at this who are in their, their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, who are at the same level of sophistication games-wise that we were when we were 6. When we were 6 and we were new to games, we had no fucking clue what constituted a good game. If a game sucked ass and we kept dying, we just thought, this game must be really hard.
Yes,
I've gotta
I
get
must
good
be
at
doing
this
something
game.
wrong.
Mickey
Yeah.
Mouse capade.
I
Yeah.
can do... God damn it! At least I get to play the music.
It wasn't that game is terrible. It's like, oh, that game's really hard. You don't want to play
Yeah.
that.
Oh man, what a challenge! This is
I had to beat Ice Age for GameCube because it was so hard.
good Christ.
I'm just saying.
I
that-
was gonna blame it on when I picture Middle America suburbia.
Yes.
It's constantly trying to justify your purchase. Oh, you got one of those Wii Bob? Yes. It's a gift that keeps on giving.
It's just truly a delight.
You really have to get one. It's amazing. It's like his fucking lawnmower that he never uses.
Yeah, it's just.
It's a Japanese company jangling its keys in my face.
Oh, that one! You got one of them electric awnings? I gotta get one of them. How
I want
much
to
it
play
cost?
games. I want to play games. What should I get? Well, 360 is the absolute cheapest thing to get with the best games for the lowest price.
Oh, if it's cheap, that means it sucks.
Yeah, exactly. And so,
Oh,
like,
shit,
the
man.
Wii is, I guess there's
Can
some
you use
kind
your
of...
ass to make those rabbits move and shit?
Oh, man.
Wait! I have to pay $60 for a game on this machine, but on this other one it's $50, and I get to whip my arms around like an idiot.
I'm gonna get my ma that
Boy,
Wii
sign
Fit.
me up.
You see that Wii Fit? I'm gonna get my ma that. The yoga and shit. Seriously, no, I know 3 separate friends who are getting Wii Fit for their parents
Yeah,
because they really
as
want
do
the yoga and to lose weight.
I am
Why?
on my friendly forum as actually I know professional gamers. I was in a conversation like about
Fuller up a ton of weight doing that of Wired's blog.
I won't lie, I dropped at least 20 pounds playing DDR as a workout for 3 or 4 weeks. That shit's possible, but I don't know. I don't think Wii Fit DDR will make you sweat buckets.
Yeah, the problem
Yeah.
is DDR is
It's
extremely
aerobic.
is intense and aerobic, whereas Wii Fit, you can hurt yourself
Yeah.
That stuff instructors are paid to tell you how to do it properly, and if you don't know if you're bending the wrong way, putting stress in places it shouldn't be. That's why yoga is an industry. I made a game that tells you all their secrets.
We fit number 6 on the Amazon best-selling list, right below, of all platforms, Disney's Club Penguin Elite Penguin Force. Let me give it this.
It's a show or something.
And right below, and We Fit is just barely edging out. 3 years in, we play with remote.
Oh my god!
The only 360.
What a steal!
That game makes me want to revert to like a caveman state and just bang rocks against my head.
Everything here is Wii and DS, and I don't want to quote them all, but number 9 is Wii Ski.
Any readers out there who's contributing to this? Why? Why are you doing this?
It's like I'm really skiing.
Whoosh,
Look,
whoosh.
I hold these things and I go like this, and I'm not.
Fall on the slalom, it makes my eyes rain. Sorry, I saw Tropic Thunder recently.
I need someone else's hobby to ruin.
Yeah, number 15.
I seriously, I want to get in like the music industry and just buy millions of sound effects CDs. So that shows up at number 1 on Billboard. Crazy FX 9000.
Like the only 360 games in the top 20 are Call of Duty World at War and Gears of War 2. Everything else is Wii. Number 23, right behind Gears of War, Game Party. It is a party of games. A party of games. Thank you,
Not
Game
enough they
Party.
could make Game Party 2 The Reckoning.
Which, again, I think...
Why do you put game in the title?
That's amazing.
Why do you do it? We know it's a game.
It's just a party.
Otherwise, it would just party, and then that's like Atari 2600 names.
Fox Social.
I have a feature going up on that just on this very day.
Yes.
This being December the 35th of... I have to pee. Let's go. We're going to go to break, and when we get back, we have a very unbelievably special guest. Nice of him to stop by. And, all right, when we get back, we're going to announce the winners to the wrestling game contest, and we're going to have a very, very special guest. So, don't move your rectums.
The iTunes reviews are in.
Twishart says,
a wonderfully pungent gaming cluster shard.
Kyrian BC says,
Spawned from the heavens, absolute brilliance on so many levels.
Melzul says,
Pants-crappingly hilarious. And Game Dad says,
the constant belching and F-bombs make the podcast feel immature.
Get over here!
TalkRadar for the win.
Okay, we're back. Hi. And what are we going to get into? The new releases?
A little bit.
But first, we have a special guest on the line to address a very tiny microcosmic situation from 2 weeks ago. Who do we have on the line?
Hello, are you there?
We are here.
Hey, what's up? It's Jeff Gerstmann. How you doing?
Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
So this very serious situation, the biggest situation in the world right now. I know that there's some things going on overseas that people are not into, but look, man, this is the real deal. We're talking about video game reviews here.
Yes.
And 2 weeks ago in our podcast, I think that was 28, we were reading out the new releases, and we saw Mortal Kombat vs. DC got a 5-star review, and we were all like, how in the world, because we had all played it and all kind of unanimously decided we all hated it to death. But, fair enough. And then the Giant Bomb forums, the thread called Something Pissed Me Off About Games Radar, and then people start saying stuff like, holy fuck, here it goes, the first Giant Bomb fight, I hope this gets good. No one disses the 5-star rating. I'm gonna go Cabal on this shit. Like, they really want a fight, and it just occurred to me, like, this happens a lot where fights persist in forums, and there's this idea that all the big sites like have to hate each other's guts. And
for sure. I mean, obviously, we're all in direct competition. We have nothing in common. It's not like we all play video games for a living.
It's a very small internet.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty ridiculous, and it's something that I actually seem to find myself getting into quite a bit lately. Given my history, there's some people that hold a grudge that want to keep causing trouble like this and keep stirring up crap, and it's like I'm not into it.
So do you think it's within the industry, like people in, like, you don't have to name any names, but like people in the industry actually do hold grudges, or is it just a lot of the users of forums and stuff want to have like a flag to wave?
I think it's fun to feud.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely like, the people out there reading these sites love a good fight. The sensationalistic coverage of celebrities and rap battles and all this stuff has led us to a place where everyone just wants to see someone talking shit about someone else so they can just stand by the side and go, oh!
Oh, snap.
Yes.
Precisely.
Yeah, yes. And also, when we exchanged emails earlier, you mentioned, aside from us kind of crapping on the 5-star review, there was also something with GameSpot. I get them confused.
Ooh.
That actually happens to be, like, people keep walking up to me. This happened just over the weekend. Someone came up and goes, hey, aren't you the guy from GameStop? Like,
which location?
It's like A, no, and B, not anymore. So, yeah.
That's very recent news.
I'm actually, because we were talking about demystifying these separate publications, and now that you're not corporate, you can actually appear on our podcast.
Right, exactly.
Just like it's hard to get across the fact that the industry is actually very small, and you can't really start a big feud with people because you're going to see them within a week's time somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've actually seen Jeff
always,
1,000 times. Just never met.
Yeah,
him.
you can always just kind of keep your head down and not make eye contact with every other publication. And there's some people that certainly roll like that.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of dumb.
And then in a weird full circle, Games Radar is like a staging ground for interns that then go on to other companies. And in one of our former interns was Chris Waters.
Okay,
yeah. So the other thing that happened is that I guess Chris Waters reviewed Call of Duty World at War. And so they had review sessions for that game, like multiplayer sessions, so everyone could get in and play the game before it was out and get into like full servers. So he and I were playing, and I guess they were rolling tape, so they got footage of him shooting me, and then cut that into their video review. So then, so it's another case of like people looking for drama, where they're just like, "Oh, dude, that's a direct." That is flagrant. We are not going to stand for this. And and my response to that was like, well, wait till you get a load of the Left 4 Dead footage in which I bring him back to life. Oh God, what can it mean? What can it mean?
That's right. That's my Sean McGinnis from GameSpot. He's my favorite Left 4 Dead partner. He's very generous.
Really?
Yes. But how is how's the first year of Giant Bomb going?
It's going really well. we keep breaking traffic records. We've been doing, kind of better than we thought we would, and we're getting a lot of people in here, and it's been really exciting. It's been a ton of fun to do too. We just we're kind of doing what we want to do.
It really is awesome that you kind of got to tell your old job to fuck off and create competition for it. I don't think I've seen that happen in this business.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's been a lot of fun.
Again, you don't have to
one of the other comments, like just trying to make a divide, was somebody said, "I hate the name Games Radar. What does that even mean?" Which leads me to believe, what is Giant Bomb?
I know, because kids don't see a lot of radars. It is not the 40s.
Well, I see a lot of Tomb Radars out there.
Tomb Radar. Dear, let's not go into that.
That was it, because
To be fair though, that was the UK.
That's what I wanted to get across.
Right,
people were attacking our credibility for that. Well, whatever, that's pretty silly. But I wasn't attacking your credibility, Mr. Gerstman. It's just I was the same way I make fun of all your review scores. I'm like, really? Come on. You just weren't here to defend yourself.
Yeah, no, I think the review pretty much speaks for itself. There's really not that much to defend as far as like Mortal Kombat is concerned, because, I mean, if you take our review to mean 100 perfect great game, like some of these other review scales are built, then I could see why you would be like, dude, why would you give that game that score? But I mean, we go 1 to 5. There are no half stars. There's no nothing like that, and we did that deliberately so that we could use the entire scale.
Right.
And so the 5-star review is really saying, hey, you know what? The author of this review really liked this game.
Now, what are you a bigger fan of, MK or DC?
MK definitely. I'm not a huge comic book guy.
Because that was my main problem with it, because it felt like they just gave DC their entire game.
Right.
And everything I loved about Mortal Kombat had to take a backseat to having Batman tickle someone to death with bats.
Well, the thing is, though, if you play Mortal Kombat really seriously, at some point the finishing moves and the M-rated stuff, that's just kind of taking away from the time spent playing the game. I mean, I played Mortal Kombat 3 in arcades like pretty seriously, like tournaments and weird stuff like that, and it got to a point among those players that if you did a fatality, you were just like, you were a dick. It was like, come on, man, you're wasting 20 seconds before the next fight starts. Come on.
I call that showmanship.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about Mortal Kombat.
What about the oxymoron?
They would call it grandstanding, apparently.
What about the oxymoronic idea of heroic brutalities?
Yeah.
I'm brutalizing someone, but I'm being very nice about it.
Very nice.
It's the right thing to do.
That's good. It's good
this
that
person had to be brutalized.
There is a right way to maim. That's why we have a PG rating.
But it's a good thing you're an MK fan, because
yes, we wanted to test how big an MK fan you are.
Okay, lay it on me.
With some extremely stupid clips from our favorite movies ever.
Yes, which the two MK movies, which while I love the first one for many reasons, the second one is equally loved for the exact opposite reasons.
I have not seen either movie in a good long time. I thought they were both like the first one was passable, but man,
Annihilation is like, it's a treat.
It's a gem of a film.
If you can watch
Can't
films
Stop the
ironically.
Music, but with Mortal Kombat guys instead of the Village.
Yes,
Really.
yes, exactly.
And Steve Guttenberg, oddly enough, in both.
Wearing tighter pants in Annihilation.
Love the goose.
Right, yeah.
But what I did was, a long time ago, like literally probably 8-10 years ago, I recorded a bunch of WAV files of the best one-liners of that series, of those two movies. And it just occurred to me, wow, we really should play those on the podcast, because...
that means you probably have the Shang Tsung, your soul is mine one.
You have that?
Don't you?
I don't have that.
What? That is quite literally the only thing I remember from that movie.
because I expect him to say that.
Yeah.
Play. The first one is called Yo.Wave. It's from Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and it's Jax talking to Raiden.
We were supposed to have Jeff guess, but instead, share in the stupidity with us.
Yo, forget your gods and immortals and all that junk.
And all that junk.
Who was he telling to turn on their gods?
He said, yo, forget your gods and immortals and all that junk.
Yep.
Yo, God, forget that God. God damn.
Yeah,
Yo,
God.
forget your gods.
Another one is
Okay, wait. See if Jeff can guess the character, because I know they stuck to the Mortal Kombat canon for these movies.
Ripped from the game code.
Explode.
And then he explodes. I can see his guts and everything.
I have no idea who that is.
That has to be Kano. That can only be Kano.
Yes.
Is that Kano?
Yeah.
He's the Aussie.
Yeah.
He sounds about 20 pounds underweight to be in that role.
Well, the beginning of that wave, if you play it again, it's a very juicy bite of turkey. Listen.
Oh, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
He's having a feast. He's speaking.
I want to be the Foley artist responsible for making sure Kano
another one. This is a perfect example of MK Annihilation dialogue. It's called "Too Bad." I don't know if you can guess who says it, but you might.
All right.
You're alive. Too bad you will die.
Is it Shiva? Isn't Shiva in the second movie?
That's the girl with the hair, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No.
She's the queen, right?
Shiva's the
Shiva has
forearm. Oh, Sindel is the lady.
Sindel.
Yeah. So many evil ladies in the Mortal Kombat world. What are you gonna do?
I was hoping you'd have like the same love that Shane, Michael, and Brett seem to have for these movies. I thought they were terrible at the time. I hated them.
But I remember that for bonus points, Jeff, who was she talking to in that scene?
Was Sindel talking to? Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna say Liu Kang.
I think it was Katana.
Okay.
It's a girl's voice. It's Katana.
It was Cyrax. I'm sorry.
These robots had to go
What's
down.
another?
There are 3 Barakas in that movie. That's what I read.
What's
Give us like 2 more else.
Dudes.
All right. Dudes is long.
Dudes and who. Let's do those.
Okay. Here we go.
The whole facility's going to be trashed by an extermination squad.
Extermination squad? What you mean extermination squad?
All you need to know is they're trying to kill me, and probably you too.
Me? I don't even know these dudes.
And who was the Extermination Squad?
Extermination Squad.
I don't even know these dudes.
Yeah.
I just like
the
the idea.
Extermination Squad. That they mentioned those in MK3. That's the Lin Kuei Extermination Squads, or why they turned all the ninjas into cyborgs in the first place. Which is why Sub-Zero had to be.
Which just the sentence "turning ninjas into cyborgs" is like an immediate. Oh, what?
That's playing God, and that should be illegal.
If that's how you react to that statement, Brett, then I'm forced to conclude you have no soul.
Yeah, no, seriously, that's like the basis of every video game.
They turn ninjas into giraffes
I
or
thought
something.
the whole thing was that ninjas were organic cyborgs.
But now they can be cyborgs.
Yeah,
Cyborg
he's talking to Sonya there about. I just love the idea that Jax is referring to Shao Kahn as a bunch of dudes.
When did Sonya get a accent?
Does she have an accent in that movie? She like Valley Girl or something?
There's an accent in that clip.
Yeah. Oh, well then, yeah, she is. And then the last one we'll play is who. You can probably guess who it is.
I know I'm not going to get this.
Yeah, now that's what I'm talking about.
Well, that's obviously Shao Kahn. That's like his announcer voice.
Yeah.
He says, "You win!"
I'm glad if they have to have one African American portrayal, it's dignified and well done.
And that's when he wakes up. Sonya finds him in a room.
Nightwolf.
And it's Jax just laying there on a table, wakes up with metal arms, and that's his first sentence. Like, hey, woo, metal arms.
Yeah, he was getting that surgery.
Yes,
like,
the metal arms surgery.
And the metal arms fall off by the end of the movie anyway.
Yeah, he pulls them off because Liu Kang tells him to.
Yeah.
He doesn't need him, man. He's
It's
powerful
in
enough.
here. Now I'm going to turn into the creature from Willow and fight somebody.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I actually don't like the movies because I genuinely like the games.
That's where I was at the
If that
time.
makes any sense. Yeah.
No, that's exactly where I was at the time.
I think part of the reason why I was so hard on MKDC was because like a year or so ago they were telling us how big a comeback MK was going to make. And
it's
then
going to be so serious this time.
Yeah, and we got a nerfed Mortal Kombat game, which kind of bothered me. I don't know.
Well, I mean, for me, it's a gameplay thing. You know, it's that they sat there down and reinvented the fighting style that had gotten stale over the past few games, and intelligently they took it back to something that more closely resembles the 2D games. So for me, it's just that they made a better playing game. It's not necessarily about, well, there's no spines getting ripped out. It's like, that's a bummer, but at its core, it's a much better fighting game than Mortal Kombat has been since like '95. That's pretty
that's
cool.
my only argument. Is that's what I realized about myself is that the blood and gore was, for me, extremely important in Mortal Kombat. But I
Yeah,
suppose
for sure.
you could throw me in the casual category of Mortal Kombat fans.
And I think that's why that game does so well with a wider, like kind of more casual audience than most other fighting games, is because it kind of has that hook for people. So
have you heard anything about the sales for DC? Like in my mind, it's going to sell huge because MK is a very popular franchise outside of gaming. It just seems like this is going to. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about how the sales have been.
I haven't heard anything at all either. I imagine. I mean, it seems like MK always does reasonably well because it does have that kind of long running fan base. I mean, I imagine that if you combine platforms and go worldwide, it'll break 1 million for sure.
Yeah, but then Midway was just sold for $100,000. So.
Yeah, it's like we should have just pooled our money together.
I know. That's
And then
we could have
be
made the fighting
making
game everybody wants.
Sequel, yeah.
I was saying that.
You scraped together your own website. Why don't you just buy this company?
That's it's because of the whole like $70 million in debt thing that it falls apart. It's like if it was just $100K for Midway, I'd be working on a Spy Hunter sequel right now. But Smash TV 2 finally the story can be told.
Smashing TV.
Tell me you have a Smash TV. Here we go. Dude. Smash TV.
See, that's only in the SNES version too, because that's when you get an extra life.
Yeah, and there's also Bingo.
That's not in the arcade one. Yeah.
Given the Xbox PS2 narc, though, I'd be afraid to see how badly Midway would fuck up a Smash TV remake.
Yeah, well, it's a game that they actually had a design on the table for at one point that they were going to do as an arcade game, and then they got out of arcade game, never got to make it. So it's like for me, it's like Midway's future lies in like milking all of their old franchises for Xbox Live Arcade and PlayStation Network, like Capcom's been doing, just like getting that stuff, like nailing it, you know.
And
it's not about Michael Madsen.
They'll follow the acclaimed route and produce free-to-play MMOs and mobile phone games exclusively.
The
exciting new venture for Midway.
Oh, you can't lose.
Because you
can't.
Dancing
MMO.
But Jeff, do you have to go, or would you mind just going through a couple new releases with us?
No, I can hang out for a little bit, sure.
Sweet, because even though I didn't agree with the Mortal Kombat 5-star, I did agree with the Banjo-Kazooie 5-star.
Yeah.
Really?
I really like Nuts and Bolts until
you complain like nonstop. It's Gummy Ship the game.
Well, that's the thing. But when it gets to where you have to build, I don't want to build anything. I just want to play a straight platformer.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good about that until about a third of the way in. And I don't know if I can progress now without it. But I had a great time with it. I thought it was some of the best music. It's my favorite music of the holiday season.
Grant Kirkhope's final work for Rare. He left.
Oh, he did?
So, he left the company. So that's like kind of his final project. So who knows if Rare will ever be that good musically again.
Damn it.
That's not related to the Viva Pinata score, is it?
Yep, same guy.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, I purposely noted how good the Viva Pinata score was.
No, I love Banjo actually specifically because of the vehicles. Like once it got really challenging, it's like, okay, you need to assemble a vehicle to do this. I'm like, all right, well, this car is going to be all engines. Take that and throw some wheels on it and a chair and go, and it's ridiculously fast. And yeah, I really enjoyed just kind of building ridiculous stuff and having fun with it.
I'm sure people have pointed this out already, but Kazooie doesn't really need to be there anymore.
Yeah, Kazooie just holds the rod. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Kazooie was like my favorite part of Banjo-Kazooie. I liked how he added, like he was a sidekick that did a lot.
Yeah.
It's going the Rayman route.
Oh, isn't Kazooie a she?
Kazooie's a she.
Crap.
I win.
This is why I brought it up, though, is that for some reason I thought this was going to hit the same time, because Banjo-Kazooie, the N64 game, appears on Xbox Live this week. Yay.
Oh, really?
Yes, I have my download code. I don't know why I wasn't smart enough. If you pre-ordered Banjo-Kazooie, you would have gotten that for free. Very much worth it. And what else is coming out this week, Jeff? What have you played this week that you...
That's coming out this week? Well, Prince of Persia's out this week.
There you go. Yes.
That's kind of the last big game for the year, right? I mean...
No, Spray, which Nintendo Power gave it 3.
I'll rework a lot of our Game of the Year voting in our category.
We also have a 7-year-old port of Rygar coming still.
Yeah, but you get to wiggle the remote to throw the disc star.
Oh my god!
Plus,
nice.
Now he has different hair, Brett.
Oh, now he's in Super Saiyan.
It's like
mode.
a whole new game.
And that and Prince of have you played the new Prince of Persia at all?
No, not yet. I messed with it a little bit back at E3, but haven't touched it yet.
What do you think about the old Prince of Persias?
I like the very first Prince of Persia a lot.
Too.
Are you talking
all the way back?
Yeah, are you talking Sands of Time?
No, I'm talking Prince of Persia. Prince of Persia.
That's the only other one I've played, and I don't know, the Sands of Time series. I was like, I don't need. I never played them, so I can't comment on them.
Have you seen
really
the DS?
I hear you play that like stylus only on the DS. Like
I don't know. It looked more like the old Prince of Persia with the dumb Cupid doll as the protagonist.
It used to be really fun, like the Sands of Time era Prince of Persia, because they would bring by preview builds, and you would be able to say things like, "Oh, so it's like Blinks," and they'd be like, "Yeah, oh."
Yeah, so I might get Prince of Persia. I haven't decided yet, but
I bought it today only because I like the new look. I like that it's so crazily fantasy and bright colors and stuff. I'm for some reason into that.
I wasn't won over by the newness, the press X to live nature of the whole thing.
That's the one thing I do keep hearing is that it is like stupid easy.
Yeah. You cannot die.
The DS one is the Fallen King, right? The only review is from official Nintendo UK, gives it an 8. I can't really base anything off of that.
I can't trust anything across the pond. Not anymore. Not after these Tomb Raider and Sonic scores.
Yeah. The UK, man, you can count on the UK to love them some Tomb Raider.
Yes.
And to like them some Sonic. Like, I don't know what the deal is, but it freaks me out. I don't want to go over there anymore. I've only been over there once, and I never want to go back.
What's a game that, like, to be fair, what's a game that we seem to irrationally score higher than the UK?
Madden.
Well,
Madden.
Perhaps who in this room?
What do you think? Grand Theft Autos? No?
No, the Brits love Grand Theft Auto. We were competing with them for coverage. When GTA 4 was coming out. They were like trying to do the same things we were, and we were like, no, do something slightly different.
You know what I bet is the Halos huge?
They're probably big enough.
Big enough. They're no SingStar.
Yeah. Exactly. They're no SingStar.
But also, I was segueing into Grand Theft Auto 4 came out on the PC. Yes, high fives around the room. Our PC editor got it in today, the retail version, and found out it spec-wise will not play on his computer.
Wow.
Awesome.
Oh, burn.
Mike Grimm from 1UP was telling me about it. Apparently they had tried it on 5 PCs and there was terrible clipping and pop-in.
Yeah, everything I've read, if you can get it to work, it's very pretty.
Well, did you see that Rockstar issued some kind of statement saying, if you have high-end PC hardware, you should still play it on medium because the high setting is for computers that haven't been invented yet? God. like really? To run an Xbox 360 game with higher resolution and a double player limit, you're telling me today's PCs can't hang?
It's like if it's running on high, it's a higher spec than like what Crysis was pushing a year ago.
I didn't see what the recommended specs for that was, but they basically just say, just play on medium, which seems ridiculous. But I haven't tried it yet. I was going to play it last night, but Steam took a lot longer to download. It's like 15 gigs.
Yeah.
It's no joke. So it took a lot longer to download than I thought it was going to be. So I sat there and watched the progress, watched the percentage crawl.
Good Lord.
And then fell asleep.
And then also this week, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, which I might finally play. I just realized this Destroy All Humans.
Oh, yeah.
I've never liked any of the... I've never played any... Who's buying that game?
I ran into a kid at a Best Buy yesterday who actually said, "Are you the guy from GameStop?" And I said no. And he said, "I'm here to get the new Destroy All Humans game." To which I said, "Great, fantastic, son.
Good for you.
Go with God."
But even games I don't play and like, I still can see a visual fan base on the internet. I don't see one for Destroy All Humans. I don't know who.
It's weird.
It's like 13-year-old kids that love 50s sci-fi.
Yeah. The first game I thought was really good, and it's just been diminishing returns since then. I have like zero interest in this one.
Yeah, it's just another annual game, and I don't know. No, that's all I wanted to mention.
I had to write one preview for this one for the Wii version that I guess came out already. I'm getting these Destroy Humans confused.
Big Willie.
Yeah. That's I read the whole time. I'm like, yeah, this was fun 3 years ago. I got nothing else, man.
Well, that is it. Jeffrey, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, anytime, guys. Thanks for having me. Yeah. If you guys want to start some good fake drama.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Let me know. Oh, here we go. Fuck you guys. There we go. How's that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Quote of the week. Wait,
next time I see you, it's on.
Let's try to get this on the blogs, on Joystick and Kotaku. Gerstman says, fuck you guys.
Quote, fuck you Games Radar in your stupid asses.
That's right.
Yeah, you got anything to plug? You want to plug? What are you working on this week?
Right now, we just put up a trailer for our impending Game of the Year awards. But that's going to be quite a big undertaking. It's interesting because we've all done them a certain way for a very long time, and now we get to do them differently. So
yeah, one thing I've always I've always loathed GameSpot's countdown to the award, like the 50-page preview to the Game of the Year awards, where it's like every genre, subgenre, and it's 2 weeks. I don't know. It's like I don't know.
Well,
it's like having a 3-hour preview of the Oscars. So a week before the Oscars,
which they do.
Well, to defend it, there's not a lot else happening at the moment. So you fill up those pages with something so that you can all take a nice long holiday break.
Yeah, either that or just really try and bring a bunch of post-release feature content on Destroy All Humans, which nobody wants to do.
In-depth strats for Destroy All Humans. Yeah.
I want you to plug something. What can you plug?
Let's see. I mean, of course, we have a podcast of our own, the Giant Bomb Cast, which we post every Tuesday night, which is a good old time.
Could you not plug that? That's always kicking our ass.
All right.
Or at least now you have to mention us on yours. How about that?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. I will plug this appearance on there at least.
Excellent.
So thanks a lot, man. I really do appreciate it. You are free to come back on any time.
All right, well, maybe next time we can do it in person or something like that.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Get in the car and make it work for reals.
Yeah. Come on down from Sausalito, man.
Yeah. So I try not to get to San Francisco anymore since I don't have to be there every day. It's nice to never to go south. All right, well, thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah,
thanks a bunch.
That was sweet of him.
That went quite well.
I think he's taking his headset up.
What an asshole! God damn it! I can't believe you didn't give him the business. You said you promised. That actually went way better than I expected. Because again, and I don't want to harp on this too much. Is that Gerstman Gate brought up all these super serious debates about reviews and credibility. So I automatically associate him with sober, excessively boring conversations. But I was Jesus. Thank you, Jeff. That was very.
Yeah. That was awesome. Yeah.
I was very relieved. I forgot. Oh, yeah, he writes funny stuff about games. He's been doing that for 10 years. Whoopsie-daisy. So. Well, Brett, do you want to get any... I didn't want to... I was hoping Jeff would be a massive Mortal Kombat fan, but if you want to get any of these, burn off any of these quotes, we got this one, I believe we played last week.
Cool. It's my animality.
Has to be the second one.
Yeah, Beg cannot...
Cannot is great.
Okay.
This is Raiden reacting to something that just happened, and then Sindel responds to his exclamation.
It cannot be.
Oh, but it can. And it is.
Writing!
It can. it can and it is.
Will it?
That is fucking kindergarten I can read book.
How did they write English into the script?
It could have gone on just a fucking cheese-a-thon. Will it?
Is it really?
Is it?
Beg is Shao
Kahn. It can to be, really.
You want to hear Beg?
Beg is Shao Kahn.
2 of Earth's best warriors have already been taken.
Oh my god!
No,
that's terrible.
That's not Shao Kahn. That's one of his... Okay, there's something else about this. This is one of Shao Kahn's recruits talking to Shao Kahn, giving him a report. This is also how they sneak in Cabal and Stryker into the movie.
Is he speaking into a vacuum cleaner?
He may be a toaster, I don't know.
And Stryker.
Tell me, did you make them beg for their lives before you destroyed them?
Wait, play it again. Play the beginning again real quick.
That is way...
2 of Earth's best warriors have already been taken. Cabal and Stryker.
That's it.
Oh, wait, is that the only way they figured in the entire
they're
movie?
never visually represented, or never do they explain what these names are they've just said.
Like the Street Fighter movie where you just see Zangief and Blanca fighting for 1 second in Vegas.
Yeah.
Onward. Meanwhile...
not in the circus fight. And it's just, if you didn't... Obviously, anyone seeing the movie knows who Cabal and Stryker would be because they probably weren't sitting in that seat opening weekend of 97.
I had to go see Mr. Bean just to take the taste out of my mouth. I snuck into it.
Wow. I believe that was the summer of Spawn as well.
Was it August? That was August. That was August.
Oh,
92.
hell yeah.
Oh hell yeah! And
Oh.
all right, let's move on.
I know. Speaking of celebrity impressions, one of my favorite bits of last week was when someone mentioned Burgess Meredith was in a game.
Yeah.
And we all, well, Elson and I just kept doing impressions of him doing a tutorial for a game. I went to go.
Rocky, use the yellow key.
Wow.
Got the high score, Rock.
And I was at the event for Wanted, the game.
Active
Wanted.
reload gives you better ammo. Press X to walk forward, Rock. Switch the left thumbstick to reset the console. Hold your controller against the screen to not die. Did you lose to the mid-level boss? You're a bum!
All right.
Rocky, checkpoint reach, Rock.
Oh, this is going to be so much harder.
Rocky, Westmost Peninsula is the secret.
This is going to be so much harder because this is. I was at the event for Wanted, Weapons of Fate. Wait, excuse me. Wanted, Weapons of Fate.
Sounds like a SquareSoft game.
And it's not a bad movie tie-in, and they're gonna hate me for it. But the biggest comparison I can draw to it's so similar to fucking Stranglehold, which I kind of love, even though its failings is that it was.
You did drink a lot of tequila.
No, it's not just that. It was just like really dumb bullet porn with a point value ascribed to it that you could string together combos, and this is basically a prettier and more less clumsy version of that.
What about like the club? Because that was all points and combos and
that handled
it.
It
wasn't over the top as like because you were like flying over shit and going.
Yeah.
And this is where you twist your wrist to arc bullets around corners.
Twisty bullet time,
which is great because you emit like this little fucking jump rope. I just started swinging it in the circle with the analog stick and doing a double dutch song. Made Michael Grimm laugh. Onesies, twosies, threesies. They had to be there. Anyway, this also made me had to be their moment. I actually made a PR person laugh because Morgan Freeman is in the movie. And like, please tell me he narrates the tutorial. And
does he?
And so I just went, push the analog stick to get through. There you go. Nice and smooth, boy. I wanted to see if Shane could help me out and narrate the potential Wanted tutorial.
Get busy hitting the X button. I get busy dying.
Stay away from here, Antista.
Stay away, boy. The middle-level boss has the upper hand.
Angelina Jolie has the upper hand. Mills!
Are you sure you want to overwrite this save? Use cheats, don't you, boy?
That's it on me. That's a little old.
You've unlocked the achievement.
Yes,
good. I don't even do a good Morgan Freeman.
Trigger. Select the storage device. Mine's like 10 times as bad.
You just have to be very sober.
Count one at a time and add dramatic pause.
My friend, the mini boss.
Press start to continue.
Say Wataneo. Complete.
Would you like to play again? You have selected. No.
Oh, okay.
That was entertaining.
That was dumb. That makes. I did, and I meant to bring this up in new releases just because I'm always late on playing new releases. But anybody played the new Sonic game?
No.
I know you have.
I know I really was quiet about it because I was embarrassed because exactly
you were
what
not
you talked
quiet about it. You did it right in the middle of the office.
About my
wearing no pants.
You're both
I was quiet about my anticipation because exactly what you said. Like every year, we pull the wool over our eyes, wait to see what happens, and oh, but what a ride! This Sonic could be good.
Werehog.
Fucking
there's a werehog.
Werehog. So I'd actually seen it in action, and they never showed the werehog. So I'm like, this looks fucking cool. It's about 2 minutes of, I think, a decent transition, the most decent transition Sonic's made in the 3D in the next gen in years. And that lasts about 2 minutes because he's very fast. And then there's about interspersed is 30 minutes of the worst rudimentary platforming 101 circa 1996 werehog bullshit. And I think, can we post a picture of
Slash talking to NPCs in different
Talking
countries.
to NPCs about nothing. Like, they don't say anything.
Hey, how you doing, Sonic? Well, see ya.
None of them would go, holy shit, you're a fucking giant werehog. Like, none
You're
of
7
them.
feet tall.
Exactly. Every once in a while, one will say something like, "Oh, you better hurry up and get to the college, professor."
Yeah, like, oh, you're going to the tree temple, huh?
But everybody else is like, "I hope I see my grandpa again." Like, fuck. And I was like, why did this this is so... I shouldn't be able to fix your game in a sentence. And I can do that with Sonic Unleashed. It's a fucking... I would give it like a 2 or 3. It's fucking abysmal and then heartbreakingly great for several minutes. But I think this is courtesy of as a story told by David Clayman on David Clayman of IGN's Three Red Lights podcast. We all familiar with that, of course.
Yeah.
He asked somebody straight up at TGS, "What the fuck is with the werehog?" And this is his quote: "He runs at this certain miles per hour, kilometers per hour." And we laid out all the statistics. And as fast as Sonic goes, in order to make a Sonic game where it's more than 1 hour, you have to create this many miles of game. And I brought that up. I'm like, that makes sense. And I think everybody's like, that's no fucking excuse.
That's not an excuse at all.
They didn't create miles of game. They created a hub for you to walk around it.
Exactly, to distract you.
Strangely enough, Sakurai, mastermind behind Smash Brothers, he addressed this in one of his speeches at GDC, and he said, people mistakenly believe Sonic is about constantly being fast. It's not. Sonic is actually quite slow. It's only when you get to those moments of speed do you realize he's capable of... He accelerates slowly, but he can attain a high top speed. That's why he was very painstakingly careful about how he had him control in Smash Brothers Brawl. All the old Genesis Sonic games are fucking slow games, except the brief moments when you're going so fast that the screen is like jutting around or whatever. It's just good platforming in between.
There are certain levels in 3 and Knuckles where you can spend over 10 minutes in one of the stages and just fucking die, and you have to start over to check.
Just aquatic zone.
Like it's not a problem with slowing him down. Like, they can totally slow him down. They just think he's always got to be going fast, and so they add a bunch of shit to do instead of giving you a level you actually have to traverse.
That's pretty true. But I mean, that's the thing. These levels have like branching pathways and different things to explore. I thought there was plenty to do there, but then
also
we were like, we'd only have a 3-hour game if we didn't add in a werehog and a useless overworld. And like, well, this Sonic 1 and 2 are about 3 hours. You could probably
they're less. I can go through Sonic 1 in about an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Which sold like what, 9 million copies? I don't think there's a problem.
Yeah, but imagine what the scores would be like if you could get through Sonic Unleashed in an hour and 10 minutes.
Well, that's what I'm.
If it was
$60, oh my god!
It would be $60.
That's what they're hung up on, is that they have to charge $60. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pay $30. I'll pay $40 for a 3-hour Sonic game.
Yeah.
I would pay more money now to have a game with the werehog out because I liked the rest of it.
I think they need to charge $60 just to recoup the licensing fees for putting out a game on a console these days.
Oh, you think so?
Probably. That's probably why console games are $10 to $20 more than PC games.
I'm gonna guess the length at which these awful levels, werehog levels, take to play out, didn't equate to development time. So I don't know.
Also,
I don't know.
They're hung up with the idea they have to put a new, like, Capcom recognizes there's DLC that is quite capable.
Yes,
HD Remix is $15. $15.
$15, and you know what they did different? Nothing.
Who's not making Sonic 4 at Sega? How can they not see that is an amazing idea?
It's not like they haven't made a shit ton of Sonic 2D games. I mean, on the GBA and the DS.
That's right. They made Rush on the GBA, which I thought was fantastic.
It is.
And they went immediately into Rush Adventure, ruining everything.
And they ruined it all.
And they killed that. They killed that series. They killed the Rush series effectively.
And then Sonic Rivals was actually okay for PSP because it was only you and one other person on a track, but you were always racing. So while it was fun, it felt more like a mode of a game and not a full game. Whatever, Sonic, fucking, who cares?
I do. That's the thing. I didn't realize how much I cared until I was.
I would love a new 2D game for XBLA or PSN. Absolutely.
I was so pissed at this game because I liked it at the core of what it should have been, just not the werehog, which I guess is what was unleashed. Even though, but even though his defining attribute is arms that stretch.
Yeah.
To grab ledges that don't appear everywhere, But one thing we had to share with you that we didn't get to last week was the Castlevania Judgment boobogling.
Yeah.
They're so big.
Which
I believe that's right. Who is this character?
it's Maria, is it not?
Yeah.
It's Maria from the Dracula X Symphony of the Night era of Castlevania games, who I never recall being a young, stupid, preteen idiot.
That's because you didn't play Rondo of Blood.
I did.
Oh, Gamer Burn!
No, I didn't. I played Symphony of the Night, and it's the same character. It's the
it's the same character, like 7 years later or something. I
Right.
mean, she debuts as a little girl who swings a cat and throws birds as her weapon.
right, but they
Like,
give
seriously,
her
swings it by the tail.
God,
they
that
give her
sounds
this they give her this attribute as a breast
That's
obsessed.
magic.
They give her an attribute of a breast obsessed, like just vapid idiot.
It's very strange, especially
It is.
how Castlevania characters have retained a dignity for 20 years and thrown it
Yeah.
all away for Castlevania Judgment.
Carolyn
Even in the
defended it.
N64 era, they had a dignity to them.
Well,
Yeah.
Even
Carolyn
when they were
defended
fighting
it.
skeletons on motorcycles. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Carolyn did defend it by saying that young girls are in awe of older girls' breasts or women's breasts.
Yeah, but is that like all they talk about?
I don't know.
Oh, they're so much bigger than mine.
So I don't
anyway,
understand
Is
women.
there
Even the vampires
That could
are
have been
bigger
one
than
thing that
mine.
was on Maria's mind. I don't know what else she talks about. She's
is there an
retarded.
in-Japan context to this? Like, Japanese girls get to openly ogle breasts? Hold on, let me play the first clip.
So the point is, the clip is it's from Castlevania Judgment. The character Maria, in the story mode, every girl she sees, instead of saying "Hey, let's fight," she basically ogles their boobs.
Yes.
And it's really creepy and not befitting Castlevania at all.
It's worth checking out on YouTube, and I guarantee you can figure out the search terms. Here's the first clip.
Hey! Are you a vampire hunter?
I am. If you're here, you must be one as well.
Uh-huh. They're huge.
Will you stop? These things only get in the way.
How can you say that? Those are a sacred gift!
What the fuck?
I love the music, though.
How did that get past anybody? Like, should I don't know, if the Christian Coalition, who just called Army of Two gay, picked up on this scenario.
What happens with English translations? Were they just like, "Yep, let's do it"? Was like the person in charge just saying, "All right, I'm just gonna fuck it. It's 8:00. I want to go home and see my family. I'm out of here." Or
tits, done.
I know what happened. Like they listen to this and they're like, "Okay, straight up translation." Not like, "What the? Oh, well, I guess they programmed the motions. I guess verbatim. Here we go."
And it's not like the Wii can do boob physics justice any damn way.
Those
But
are sacred. What are you talking
those are
about?
sacred.
What?
So there's
What?
there's another one though, right?
Yes, Elson wants to move on.
For a fan, I'd like to comment that it's, speaking of sacred, it's a little bit blasphemous to see Sypha Belnades become a huge-breasted sorceress in, like, a really tight white outfit.
Yeah, and like, granted, they did all the they redesigned all the characters poorly, which we've already talked about.
Really badly.
But yeah, turning his character, who was usually very reserved and very subtle. In the NES game, you didn't even know it was a girl till I think the end of the game.
The very end, when she took off her hood.
And you're like, oh, it's a girl, because she was shrouded in a cloak. And it was like, wow, she's fucking dignified. Not anymore. She's got huge rack that's out of control.
Oh my god! Vampire!
Why, hello, sweetie pie. You'll make a nice little appetizer.
Even the vampires are bigger than mine!
Jesus. Wait, how did this get past anyone at Nintendo?
Let me see. I gotta know what this game is rated.
Nintendo was probably just like, oh, is it a game? Is it rated below adults only? Okay, yeah.
It's T.
Can we add party to the title?
Are you selling it for money? I'm broke. I lost that.
Can we collect licensing fees from this money? Okay.
The game is T.
T, and I have to know the descriptors. Suggestive sexuality?
Suggestive themes and violence.
Suggestive? What the fuck does that mean?
It's going to suggest you play a different game.
I could watch a mice. God damn it! That's shit all over. I was going to say I can watch a
mild innuendo is what it means.
Okay. There was no need for my Sims bending over comment.
It wasn't even innuendos, just blatant. Oh, look at those huge boobs.
I watched it first. I'm like, I just my brain didn't go that they would be doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like they're talking about something else, right?
Yeah.
Vampires, correct?
Yes.
Judgment? I don't know.
So who's judging whom?
The judging. Well, all right. When we get back, I'm gonna drop some Christmas cheer on you, but nowhere near the amount as Shane Patterson, who is going to announce the winners. Oh fuck!
Yeah, brother.
Announce the winners of the wrestling contest. So
should we have Bonsoir give out the award?
Yes.
You look like a real asshole!
Well, I am an extremely serious gamer.
He's completely devoid of humor. So what you doing?
Well, my level 80 guild and I were running off to complain about the journalistic credibility of Ars Technica's Naruto review on NeoGAF.
Wrong, Dick! You're listening to TalkRadar! Oh, I'm sorry! You thought you were funny? Well, guess the fuck what?
amend your fucking review, shit dick. Right? I swear to fucking Christ, I'll jump through that goddamn internet and kick you in the fucking throat.
We ain't no fucking magazine, we got the F word!
Fuck you, I thought it was funny. Fuck you!
No, you two separate.
Let's fucking... We got hour-long stories about shitting!
Came out like a baby elephant. Didn't hurt a bit.
TalkRadar with a house at Abe Lincoln's bonus bill!
Call it the Kid Fuckers Hoagie.
Totally awesome video game!
What could possibly go wrong?
Dark Khan's energy is slowly grinding the two universes together, agitating us until we become enraged and releases the rage, hastening the merging.
Then Dark Khan must be stopped.
Not yet. We must first eliminate his forces, but to do so will require the unthinkable.
Bitter rivals must as one.
So it shall be. Liu Kang, you must alongside Shang Tsung.
I will do as you ask, Raiden. This could prove interesting. Now I am revitalized, surging with power. I could you right now!
You wanna You got it!
I'm a complicated woman.
You know, I don't feel like you anymore. We don't have to.
Oh, but I want to.
What happened? I feel so strange.
Green Lantern, this is Batman. I have a prisoner I need to in a secure location.
I am Captain Marvel.
Captain? Why are you here?
Confused. Don't understand.
Red, with a lightning bolt on his chest. This must be the warrior Liu Kang.
Thanks for whoever she is, she was ready to finish me.
You gotta stop running off like that, Sonya. We're a team. You can't bad guys alone.
I know. I'll work on it. But I have to warn you, the portal has been less than cooperative lately.
Nothing I can't handle. Sonya, you'll never guess who I
If you want to you'll find my friends and I are up to the challenge.
Liu Kang, what's wrong?
I can sense something. Something big.
Burns inside me!
I need you to be calm. More powerful than ever. Torn his asunder.
Just the way I like it! Boom Tube! Insolent fool! You're destabilizing the Boom Tube!
You blasted Darkseid's Boom Tube and sent him hurtling into some unknown universe.
Superman doesn't respond to my
Flash, what have you done to Catwoman?
Isn't it obvious?
Grinding two together will eventually rip them both apart.
I can sense the nether.
If you're not going to it, then I'll beat it out of you.
Oh goodness, that is tempted by Squeeze, this week's new Rock Band download. 4 minutes of terrible greatness.
I thought it was a great song in Vice City.
I love this.
That was like the first time I'd heard it was in Vice City.
And it's
That's so bizarre. Like that's one of those '80s songs I somehow heard as a kid and like stuck with me forever. Not that I really particularly like it. It's just very nostalgic. I can't.
I don't remember any guitar, bass, or
No.
drums.
Yeah. It's just
specialties in that entire song.
No, that's got to be really boring.
I remember Piana.
There's also Ready, Set, Go by Tokyo Hotel, All American Rejects, Real World, Naked Brothers Band, 2 songs nobody likes, and Children of Boat, and Platero E2 with I Paco Rock and Roll.
Yeah,
H-A-Y. Which is there are, if I'm correct, right?
Oh my god, I don't know.
Michael? H-A-Y in Spanish, I, that's there are, right?
H-A-Y? Yeah, I. Yeah.
I Rock and Roll. I Poco Rock and Roll by Platero E2.
There's Little Rock and Roll by Platero and you.
There really is a podcast going on here.
What? Oh, Jesus. Hello.
But this is what we come to know as our community segment, where we tend to reward you for listening for so long, and especially people who participate in our forums. And I wanted to introduce a seasonal segment that we're going to share with you on game deals. And without further ado, I'll get the best intro ever in the universe.
Take my advice and do as I say. Save a little money for a rainy day.
Yes.
What is that from, Chris?
That is from the Donald Duck cartoon where he makes his nephew smoke a box of cigars. It is Donald's birthday. But
I found this out about myself last night. I'm not a Disney movie fan, but I watch those Disney shorts like a motherfucker.
Cartoons are crazy.
Yeah.
See, I hope you TalkRadar. I sent everybody on the TalkRadar MySpace a Thanksgiving Donald Duck cartoon. Which contained racist depictions of Indians, child cruelty, fake death. It's awesome.
Yeah, I rented those VHS tapes over and over again. Donald Duck, Chip and Dale.
I just got the new set, and I couldn't be happy with it. I love those things. But anyway, this is what sucked. I didn't want to kick it off with this, because this is always the greatest deal.
Love.
GameFly. GameFly, when you buy used games off of GameFly, I don't know if your friends or relatives will give a shit if you get them a used game. I think a game's a game, as long as it works.
Right.
But
I'm too snobby for that, sorry.
GameFly, the only problem, like last year I did this, I ordered like a shit ton, because like, especially DS games, because they never, ever lower in price.
Yeah, that's true.
Ever. And like, but they'll have great ones, like, but right now they 360 for the 360, Bully, Devil May Cry 4, and Condemned 2 are under $20. Condemned 2 being $9.
Wow. I'm gonna get that.
Free shipping. The worst thing about GameFly is that for some reason they don't bundle your orders, so they just ship. I ordered 6 games at once, and they sent them to me.
God,
six packages.
So wasteful.
I got a bundled order from them just a little while ago.
Hey,
maybe they only do it with shitty games, because I bought like Frontline's Fuel of War and Lost, and I think it and like something else, and it cost me like $20.
It's odd they got those out of the warehouse post haste.
Throw them all in this FedEx box. Get them out.
The PS3 Lost Planet is $10. Army of Two and Haze are all under $20 for the Wii. Knights, No More Heroes are under $20, but Metroid Prime is $24.99.
Good game.
Bad deal. And Dark Sector for PS3 and 360, $10.
Good game.
I really enjoy Dark Sector.
Definitely
$10.
worth $10. Probably worth twice that. Actually.
And what was the GameStop deal you guys participated in?
We went to GameStop today to buy Prince of Persia, and there was a deal where with 2 trade-ins, you got 20% off towards the credit of Prince of Persia with the Edge card that they've crammed down your throat, and you have to suffer 10 months of Game Informer. You get 30% off. Picked up the Game Informer. First thing I saw was them misspelling exciting as exiting. Carolyn pointed that out, that there's a Mirror's Edge, which the caption alone is shitty, but in slow motion, some exciting things can happen. It's exiting.
Some
exiting things can happen.
What does that mean? Like a red
slow
ring?
Motion, some things can exit.
I went to school ever.
The leading gaming publication.
Yes, because they cheat. But Michael, I think it's other
But,
games.
we don't like to start shit. But
No, I don't care.
What was the question?
They don't care.
I love everybody I've ever met from that rag.
No, yeah, not the people. People, they're just
Love those guys.
They're doing a fine job. I just don't like that their marketing or whatever, they get to lie about their install base or whatever, their readership. Millions of readers, promise. But
that was the saving money gaming segment.
But no,
wait. I was going to say something.
Oh god.
It also applies to like pre-orders of RE5 and Halo Wars or something, Michael. I think.
Yeah, those were the other two games.
So yeah,
The only caveat is the trade-ins apparently have to be worth more than $2. I dug out two of the shittiest games I got in like 2004 and brought those in. Like, yeah, this one's $2. This one's 50 cents.
What game was 50 cents?
UEFA soccer from 2004. I don't even remember.
I heard it here, folks. UFA cannot be sold for more than $1 at GameStop. Otherwise, it should be illegal. That was our game deal segment.
Take my advice and do as I say. Save a little money for a rainy day.
And buy cigars.
But why buy games when you can win them for free from TalkRadar?
Yes.
Now, yes, we have
Shane Patterson is going to announce the winners of WWE SmackDown vs. Raw game contest.
He's more French.
You can't see these, mon frere.
8, 9, 10.
It two jabronis.
That's Latin.
It's actually Latin.
It's Latin.
Wow.
I apologize. I
It's
really
only
don't
when
know
I put on the spot that the three French words I know disappear.
What about just like un, deux, trois, bitch?
Deux, trois, jabronis. They'll break your back in twigs. Sur le pont d'Avignon. Ooh, bonsoir. That can full effect for me. Mon frere, read the list.
That has gone on. So a couple weeks ago, I got in the mail 29 copies of WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, featuring ECW for all 6 systems, and or 4 or 5 versions per system. And I asked you in the forums to just make up a character, draw it for me, Photoshop it for me. I don't give a shit. Give him a funny name and give him a finishing move, and tell me your system preference of choice, because you would probably win one.
I would like to say, I told Shane if you don't put your system of choice, we're not going to track you down.
Right.
And ask you. This is already an enormous pain in the ass.
Yeah.
On our existing schedules, and we do all of this.
Yeah, it's very time consuming to track down everybody and then judge it based on my own criteria of like, oh, this is really good, but then like, oh man, but this guy has this. And so a few of you didn't include 3 choices, up to 3 choices, and some of you didn't even include a choice at all, which really sucks because I just disqualified you immediately. I was like, that's a really good one, but I'm not going to send you a private message and wait to hear back from you.
It adds hours to the process.
Yeah, so I just went ahead and chose winners.
Go ahead, Shane. Let's hear them.
All right, let's start with the DS, the coveted DS version. Let's see. Net Lotnu, Irokdomic, Greemy, Gondele 4, and Slapdog. You guys win the DS version. PSP, Wave 360, Grand Force, Catastrophe, Tyser 36, AJ Mon 13. PlayStation 2, Joe Masterbaby, BHT 128, Trilp 13G, Amnesiac, and Patriot Fan 09. Moving on to the Wii, Gilligan 2021, Jimmy Smurf, Mitchy D, Jayhawk, and Fist for Fat. PS Trips, Tanman 777 with a great chainsaw dick, Krebstar, M is for Mustache, Schizo, Rabbit221, and on to the Xbox Geometry, where we only had 4 copies to give away. Loser Phenom, Twishart, David the Bowie, and L Pork. Those are your winners!
Oh, Twishart, what an upset. Who would have known he would win an art contest?
Yeah. Wasn't just for making me the actual focus of that Photoshop.
Yeah, Shane was all worried about, I can't choose Twishart because he chose me. I'm like, dude, he's really good.
Yeah, I was really worried about the integrity of that, but holy shit, he made a really good art piece, so...
Go look at the submissions. I wanted Cockman to win. If Cockman didn't win...
Point out that
he won a DS version.
Twishard is trying to start a Super Street Fighter Turbo HD
That's
Remix like tournament thread. So if you're listening, not in the forums, and really like Street Fighter 2, check out this thread that he started. I'd love to hop. I'd love to hop in. I'm
good.
I'm kind of good with Blanca.
I'm very bad, but I my friend says he's going to teach me how to get better.
I know how to do a fireball.
Really? Yeah. Which one? Blanca's fireball?
No.
Oh, damn it! I was trying to catch him.
The Asian one.
I was trying to catch him off guard. But
So do you want to go to the question now?
Oh, question of the week. The last week's question was, what was your biggest loss?
Question 13, biggest gaming loss, and by that I meant like games that were stolen or data loss, like progress lost in your gaming. A lot of people, a lot of heartbreaking stories that made my toes curl.
I know, it's so easy in this stupid hobby to lose.
Yeah,
things.
to just someone else also erased their Banjo-Kazooie game.
Yeah.
It was and like Banjo-Kazooie, one person DirDir420 did the same thing, but with San Andreas, erased their 100% file because they're like,
wow,
they're like, come on, load. Also, weird thing about DirDir420, despite being an excellent name, registered Halloween 2007 only has 2 posts.
I know, it's so weird.
That's crazy. But the one that struck me personally was Gunslinger. Somewhere in
boy. But I would also like to. I just want to say to Lionheart Ace, I don't care what you post. Your fucking avatar of Miyamoto always makes me laugh. Please keep posting.
Yeah, the one that specifically got me was Gunslinger said his Pokemon Red for Game Boy, Black and White Game Boy. Yes, excuse me, I coughed for a moment. He had all 150 Pokemon on one cart, and he said, quote, "This is the Pokemon that I fucked my eyes in completing, sitting under a lamp for 9 hours a day. My baby sister snapped it in 2 right down the middle. The little metal screw in the back. The little metal screw in the back flew out.
Did he shake her?
He should
had like a Polaroid picture.
Like
so bad.
So that really that struck me as like that's hundreds of hours. Like that's a lot of
Jesus.
But I also wanted to thank people, forum users, I'm way gooderist, Knucklehead, and Wildfire567 for apparently signing up just to answer the question. I don't remember what they were. I just did take note that they bothered to sign up.
One is I am gooderist. I'm there right now. GTA San Andreas. He had surgery and got a copy
inserted inside of him.
Yeah, the surgeon just left it there because he was playing it in the middle of the operation. It's like, no, video games improve surgical skills. Honest.
Good question. Lots of good. 6 pages worth of comments.
Apparently, I am way gooderist. This is tragic because I've heard of this happening before. He had a big San Andreas. This is just me skimming the article. He loaded up a PlayStation Underground holiday demo disc with Beautiful Joe 2, and one of the bugs that wasn't made apparent because this was done without the help of the internet was that Beautiful Joe 2 demo will erase your saves.
Yeah. Apparently someone just registered today, right now.
Woo.
Since I refreshed, Bar 1 Scorpio. He works at an anime convention, YumaCon. Not particularly important to the story, but they had Halloween weekend. They bought Little Big Planet and TVs to play, Rock Band setups.
It's not Michael.
And somebody 20 minutes after the game room opened, some asshole stole the copy of Little Big Planet. So that sucks.
That's why you get locked cabinets, people.
Also, many stories of just game data going of game data going corrupt, losing your entire Fallout, your entire Final Fantasy saves. Like
I've always called it the Blue Stinger effect.
Blue Stinger effect?
Yes. I don't want to explain that.
All right, fair enough. My question this week, question 14. I kind of came up with this. It's not really related to anything, but going into something we brought up earlier in the podcast, what game will forever be on your I'm going to play that later list? We all have these lists of games where you're like, I'll get to that later, because the top 7 this week was games I'll get to next year.
Yeah.
I think everyone has at least one game that you know in your heart of hearts you're never, ever going to play it, despite the fact you actually want to.
I want to save Wiki Paras for last, because I can't wait to see what yours fucking is. Mine, and I'm hoping to amend this immediately, Chrono Trigger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm hoping to, I've watched it being played. I've been in conversations for unnecessarily long amounts of time about how great it is with friends for the last 10, 15 years. I really...
It's a fine game.
Yeah, I'm just going to get it on. I'm going to get it on as soon as I can.
I think I still want to play over the Christmas break. Take that home. Take my DS.
I feel the need to finish Sonic Brotherhood because I already bought it and I don't have.
Oh, I should finish that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck,
we're all
see,
like,
this is how it begins. This is how it starts. Mine is Dragon Quest VIII. I really want to. I started it. I played it for like 3 hours.
Wait, was that the one that bricked your PS3?
Yes. Wow. It is also. I tried to play and got that far. It's gorgeous. Excellent music score. It's fully orchestral. Like there's an actual orchestra. It's not samples. It is actual strings playing these instruments. Really cool looking game. I just don't have 100 hours. I never will. But I will never let this go that I'm going to play it.
I think I have two that really just kind of give me heartbreak all the time. I have Eternal Darkness on the GameCube that I'm like, oh man, I really got to try out these.
It's okay. Don't. It's all right.
Well, I mean, just everything about like the insanity system and the sanity system. Like I just heard for years. Oh man, that was great.
The thing is, that's one of those things that like our site is great for because you don't have to experience that. You can be shown that in a YouTube video and get the same fucking effect.
It's not the same experience because you're not attached to it.
I disagree.
Because one of my friends did Creative Assassin, who's listening undoubtedly right now.
Watch the ending to Chrono Trigger, or all 15 of them. It's the experience.
Dude, yeah, he played a blue screen of death.
He played through Eternal Darkness and multiple times had moments of like, what the fuck? And like,
yeah. Here's my other one, the Orange Box. I'm forever like 2 hours into Half-Life 2, and I was thinking of ways to steal that game when I had no money in college because I really wanted to play that. Got a couple hours into it and was like, I have other games I want to play, and that has Episode 1 and Episode 2, and I was like, well, I got through Portal, and TF2 is almost completely useless on the 360. So I will get to that later, much later.
Use your mics, people, and cut down on the homophobia. We'll all start plugging our mics overnight. It'll be crazy. It'll be like the end of Cable Guy when people start picking up books.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, Michael Raparez, who I want to save for last because you play fucking everything.
I try. I actually have a bunch of these, and I'll limit it down to 4.
I will get you.
Hold on.
To say 3, but go ahead.
Well, it's going to be 2 actually because Shane and Brett already took 2 of them, which was Dragon Quest VIII and the Orange Box. And I will say, kind of funny. I played through Portal. And I started to play
Half-Life. Did you play it on the PC though? If you did, that's okay.
I did. Well, that's the thing. I bought it when it was new. When it just came out on the PC, I played it. I got so frustrated with the loading times that I just kind of put it aside. Never went back.
I remember that. I remember you pitched it.
When the Orange Box came out, I was like, oh man, I can get it for 360 and it won't have the fucking loading times, and I can finally play through that game. And I started playing it 5 minutes in, fucking loading time in the middle of everything. Everything stops dead while the little progress bar fills up. Fuck this. And that was when I stopped playing. The other 2 actually are Scarface, which I have for PS2.
Wow. You can't see the reaction Chris had, but it was a complete both hands up in the air like a what?
Dude, Michael, and if somebody called him here the senior editor of crime because he plays every one of these games.
I love car crime games, but the thing is, Scarface has always been one I've wanted to go back to. I played through a couple hours. It was really fun, but I just have better things to do than play a PS2 game, which leads me to my second one, which is Okami.
Who the fuck you think? Oh, that one.
And I can claim I'm not part of the problem because I bought it when it was $40 when it was in stores, but I have not played past like the first half hour. That is my secret shame. I know it's awesome. Me neither. Again, I haven't had the time for it.
Shane is one of the only people I know in this room who's played through Okami all the way.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Yep. I put 35 hours, and I was like, that's good enough.
Yeah, everything I've heard about the end is like, I maybe don't have time for that at all.
I literally started it, and like, I just bought my Wii, and like, this is coming out on Wii. I'm like, oh, fucking wait, man, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's good. Move along, industry.
Yeah, I mean, that's all of those.
Yeah. Such a great reaction to Scarface. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know. Jesus.
It's on tape. No, you just told me several. You've told me several factoids about Scarface. I assumed you had played through multiple versions, not just less than one.
If you play it, would you play it on PS2 or Wii?
I would play it on PS2 actually because
I heard the Wii one is surprisingly good.
Because
I know
this fucking maniac played through every Godfather.
Yeah.
On every platform.
That was different. I was reviewing those. I never reviewed Scarface.
You didn't?
No.
Who took the crime game away from you?
I think that might have been Rich Grisham, but I'm not sure.
So
I don't know. Yeah, what was it? Reiterate it again.
So to reiterate the question, I will start a thread in the forums, gamesradar.com/whatever.
That's not it. It's Radar Nation.
Oh shit!
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, go in there. Question 14. What game will forever be on your play it later list? Quote, play it later
We
list.
all fucking have.
You all have a game you're never going to get to. I'm slipping like a coke addict.
I just told myself like I can't ever play all the Final Fantasies. I'm too old. I'm too old.
I think
Eric is trying.
Eric is trying, but you know how far he is after years?
He's on 4.
He's on 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
But he's been doing it for
by the time he's done with 4, he'll have 8 left.
Yeah.
And
well, he's played probably 7 or 10 or something by now.
Oh, he wants to play them all the way through in order.
I'll probably never play 12 in all honesty. I started it 4 hours into it, and then life happened.
God, I always wanted to start.
I really wanted it, but
yeah, like I like a lot of. I was surprisingly interested in it, and I'm like, I can't commit to
I make
this.
fun of 10. I make fun of Final Fantasy a lot, but 10 was one of the most.
10 is
one of the greatest gameplay experiences I've ever had.
I really liked it.
It was I have a huge, massive, blood-filled erection for 4, and 10 came very close to.
I'll give 4 a shot. I want to give Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger though tends to get the RPG nut.
It does. All are fantastic games, but that's yeah. Post in the forum. Give me what your.
I know you got a pitch.
Whatever the best. I don't know how you can decide what the best are, but maybe you have a good story to go along with it. I'll read them next week on the podcast, and thousands of people will hear your story.
And don't forget about our iTunes reviews. Review those. We'll read those on the air, unless you live in somewhere other than the glorious United States.
Because apparently we cannot access the UK reviews.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know we had them. I also don't know how to read the Zune reviews.
I do, with an HD DVD player. Okay. Okay, teases for next week.
Right.
Teases for next week. Holy shit.
I'm writing the top 7. We'll be here to talk about the top 7.
One word tease. Give it to me.
Pretty.
Not in the headline.
Pretty.
Damn it, why did that be the one I can't find immediately? Oh, there it is.
Yes, it's coming soon. And then also, I think you've got to start putting together holiday specials for TDar.
I got no. Oh, Brett, please. That's the tip of the iceberg. I have a wanted preview. This podcast, a feature on the overused game title names, an Avatar beauty pageant, Blu-ray gift guide, a worst games on PS3 guide, another podcast in this. Yeah, I have a bunch of crap going up this week. In the next 5 days, I have 3 features, a preview, and 2 podcasts. So let's do this. Let's do this. Chocolate Shane.
I'm working on franchises that deserve a bit of a facelift. Not the typical, Mario should go to the moon or Sonic, just make them run fast. But some other things that
Sonic should Frankenstein.
I need Frankenhog.
And I'm going to work on watching Chris suffer.
That's what I wake up with every morning.
We also have a special gift from Capcom that will hopefully turn into a visually rich feature of multimedia massiveness.
Yes.
Many months in the making of negotiations, and I have
one dumb idea that took like so much. I don't know.
It took literally. This idea started in July, and if you read the Games Radar Secret E3 Diary, you might know what it is, and you didn't. And you didn't. I can prove it.
Red and I's MySpace, which are available by looking at myspace.com/TalkRadar.
This idea, which Capcom has graciously agreed to let us touch this thing for an extended period of time, I have to sign a piece of paper.
Really?
Yes. And I have to retrieve it personally, so it's a big deal. Michael?
Teases?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm working on the follow-up to a a feature that did very well for us last year that some could consider some of my best work, and it involves boxes.
Oh, I fucking love that feature.
Boxes.
Holy shit, boxes. I dare you to search for it on
good old reliable.
I loved it. I loved it. That too. And you know what I'll also be doing? I'll also be flating Jeff Gerstmann.
Won't we all, though?
Oh, and because he's not here to say this, Jeff Gerstmann will be writing for a site called Giant Bomb.
Yes.
That is his tease.
Which, again, if in case it needs repeating or explanation, we had him on.
Fuck that guy.
Just to point out, there is no stupid, childish rivalry between the sites.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Some of them there are.
If I ever see that guy in public, I'm going to give him the business.
The hi-hat.
The hi-hat. He was giving me the hi-hat.
Like we have everyone's email, most everyone's AIM name. We can contact each other at a moment's notice. It's just called a disagreement.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm just saying, send us out with something special. We got to have a new catch.
You want me to scream live?
Was that the beginning of?
We should say goodbye harmonized.
Give me shelter.
Wait! I gotta record this shit.
Wait! Now we have to do you last.
TalkRadar 30. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Demanding constant attention will only lead to attention. And once they have your attention, they use it to ask for attention. And once they have that attention, they use it to ask for attention. Wearing a raincoat is flying around in a yellow rubber airplane made out of a raincoat. Yes, but when you think of that, you hurt your mind, and you'll need your mind for later on. Needing a mind for later on is a friend that comes at a price. But when you hate the friend that comes at a price, you will play the drums to help you sleep.
Fatality. Insolent fool! You're destabilizing the bone tool!
Flawless victory.